Welcome to Sadik IAS Academy. In our MMS series, Mains Made Simple, we are going to see the continuation of Hindu temple art and architecture. In part 1 and part 2, we discussed about Nagara and Dravida school of temple architecture. So kindly watch that videos also. Now we are going to see the remaining temple art and architecture like Vesara temple art and architecture, Vesara school of architecture, Vijayanagara school of art and architecture, Nayaka school of architecture, finally Pala and China school of architecture. Okay, first we will see Vesara temple art and architecture. The Vesara. It is also known as Karnataka school of architecture. This temple architecture originated around Dharwat region, particularly in Karnataka. It is the combined feature of both Nagara and Dravida school, mainly with South Indian plan and the shape that the feature of North India or Nagara style. This school was conceptualized under the later Chalukyas of Padami. See this Kallishwara temple, it is the pioneer of Vesara temple architecture by integrating the Nagara elements into the Dravidian plan. Now we are going to see the main and unique feature of Vesara school. The first one is the Chalukya builders modify the Dravidian towers by minimizing the height of each story and arranged them in descending order of height from base to top. See this picture, Lakshmi Narasimha temple at Hassan. See the towers of the temple. The towers descending from base to top. Second important feature is open ambulatory passageway. And final important feature of Vesara temple architecture is the pillars, doorways and ceilings were decorated with intricate carving. In this Vesara temple architecture, emerged another three prominent dynasties. First one is Chalukyas of Badami. Second dynasty is Rashtrakutas. They built Kailashnath temple in Ellora. It is the largest rock-cut Hindu temple. It is one of the UNESCO World Heritage Site also. Next, the Hoysala. They build temples at Helibed and Pelur. Next, we are going to see Hoysala architecture. Hoysala architecture. The region of Karnataka near Mysore, the temples built under the Hoysala rulers around the period of 1050 to 1300 AD. The prominent scenes of Hoysala architecture is being Belur, Helibed and Sringeri. The unique feature of Hoysala architecture. First one is the multiple shrines were built around a central pillared hall. See this picture. Second important feature is the shrines laid out in the shape of an intricately designed star. This is also known as stellate plan. Third most important feature is the main building material was soft soapstone. Fourth, the jewelries worn by the deities were intricately carved. See this jewelries carvings of Dwarapalaka. Fifth feature is the temples were built on a upraised platform known as Jagdi. And final and important feature is the walls and stairs of the temples followed a zigzag pattern, which is showed in this picture. The main difference of Hoysala architecture from Dravida and Nagara, this architecture follow the stellate plan instead of Panchayatan style. We already mentioned about Panchayatan plan. Okay. The examples of Hoysala school of architecture. First one is Hoysaleshwara temple, also known as Helibedi temple at Helibed. It's a former capital of Hoysala Empire. This temple was dedicated to Lord Shiva. Next important example is Chanakeshwara temple or Vijayanagara temple at Belur. It's dedicated to Lord Vishnu. Okay, next we are going to see the Vijayanagara school of architecture. Vijayanagara school. This school of temple architecture emerged under the Vijayanagara Empire. In this architecture emerged as a combined feature of Chola, Hoysala, Pandyas of Madurai and Chalukya's architectural style. Also the influence of Bijapur Sultan. The Bijapurs are the contemporaries of Vijayanagara. We are going to see the unique feature of Vijayanagara school. First one is the walls of the temples were highly decorated with carvings and geometric patterns. Second and important feature of Vijayanagara is the Kobram. The Kobram were built all the sides of the temples. Earlier, the Kobram or entrance gate built only in the entrance side. Next important feature is the monolithic pillars. The pillars have mythical creatures called Yali were engraved in the pillars. More than one mandabas were built. The central mandaba came to known as Kalyana Mandaba. The main and unique feature of Vijayanagara architecture, the concept of secular buildings inside the temple premises was also introduced. The examples of Vijayanagara temple. Rock cut idol of Narasimha on Shesha near Hampi. Next, Virupaksha temple. It is the oldest and principal temple in Hampi. The main deity of this temple is Lord Shiva. It is also one of the UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Next importance, Lotus Mahal or Chitrangni Mahal. On the continuation of Vijayanagara temple architecture, Nayaka school of temple architecture were emerged. Now, Nayaka school. It is also known as Madurai school. In this school emerged under Nayaka rulers between 16th to 18th century. This architecture is similar to the Dravidian style. It has also Islamic influence. Now, the main feature of Nayaka school, first one is the presence of pragarams or huge corridors in the portico around the Garbhagriha. And the unique feature of Nayaka school is the art of Kobram reached its climax. The main example of Nayaka school, first one is Meenakshi temple at Madurai. Second and important, Madurai Nayaka Mahal. Now we are move on to Pala and Chena school of Bengal. First we will see Pala school. Around Bengal region, the style of architecture known as Pala and Chena school of architecture. Pala rulers rule around 8th century to 12th century CE in Bengal regions. The Pala's stronghold regions are Bengal and Bihar. They were followers of Mahayana and Tantric school of Buddhism, but they were tolerant and patronized both Hinduism as well as Buddhism. The Palas built lots of viharas, chaityas and stupas around Bengal and Bihar. Bengal means West Bengal as well as Bangladesh. The prominent monuments under Pala rulers are Nalanda University in Bihar. It is one of the UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Not clear who established it. Next important monument is Vikramasila University, Bihar, built by King Dharmabala. Another one important monument is Somapura Mahavigara. It is in Bengal. Now we are in Chena rulers architecture. Chena rulers ruled Bengal between 11th to 12th centuries. The rulers of Chena dynasty traced their origin from Karnataka. Now we are move on to the features of Chena school of architecture. Very briefly, the buildings had a curved or sloping roof as a bamboo huts. This is also known as bungalow roof. Later, Mughals adapt these features in their constructions. The terracotta bricks were the main building material of this architecture. This is a unique one. Next, the shigara is very similar to Odisha school. It's like a tall, curving shigara surrounded by large ambalaka. Next and final important feature, highly lustrous and finished. The examples of Chena school of temple is Daksheshwari temple in Bengal, Siddheshwara Mahadeva temple in Barakar. Okay, finally we concluded Hindu temples art and architecture. I hope in this Hindu temple art and architecture series is helpful for your prelims as well as mains preparation. Stay connected with us. All the best. Thank you.